News 8's Gridiron Kickoff Show, sponsored by Goodwill and Reconnect, changing lives through the power of work. And 104.9 The Horn, Austin's FM Sports Talk.
Second down, and 9. Looking for the blitz. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. And a team score on this drive.
Well, that is how last week ended, and what an ending it was. Bowie over Austin High on a last-second touchdown.
We can only hope that things are this good this week, and certainly they should be with playoff spots on the line.
That's right. You would like to think so. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into our Gridiron Kickoff Show. I am Ricky Doyle.
And I am Mike Berman.
We started this show more than 2 months ago. Now just 1 week remains. Wait. I'm ahead of myself. Now just 2 weeks remain in the regular season.
2 weeks. As you would expect, the fight for playoff positioning has begun. We'll kind of try and help you understand what's at stake this week.
And we're going to take you inside the Episcopal. You know what that is?
I do know what that is.
That's only because
I like it.
Hendrickson.
I know. I better know what it is because we're going to talk about it later. Hendrickson is among those clinging to playoff hopes. We're going to talk with their head man, Chip Killian.
Same district, 16-4A. Bastrop has visions of a district title taking on Elgin tonight, and that is where we find Leslie McCaslin live on the field.
Well, Ricky, it's just like you said. This is a big game for Elgin and Bastrop because Elgin is still looking for their first district win of the season. And like you said, Bastrop is hoping to win the district title outright. But before they play Hutto, who they are battling with to end the season next week, first they had to beat Elgin and take care of business here at home. Let's go to the highlights. So on to Memorial Stadium, Elgin visiting the Bastrop Bears. No score until the second quarter. Check out the arm on Josiah Monroe from the 48-yard line. He hits Josh Taylor right in the hands, who's taken out at the 7-yard line. Moments later, Marcus Reed runs it in for the Bears' first touchdown of the game as Bastrop takes a 7-0 lead. A little later, after a fumble, this time from the 44-yard line, Monroe hits Mason Foytick. He falls down at the 1-yard line for a 43-yard completion, and moments later, Bastrop runs it in for another touchdown. That made it 14-0 at the half, and there were some very happy little cheerleaders on the Bastrop sideline tonight. Definitely continued because Bastrop went on for a big win. They definitely took care of business. 42-0 is the final of Bastrop over Elgin. And of course, now they are 4-1 in district play. They'll play Hutto next week. Whoever wins that will win the district title outright. So Bastrop really excited, needs to get that win next week. Josiah Monroe, can't say enough about his performance tonight. So good on his feet, so good through the air. He made plays both ways. He's just a talented quarterback. Bastrop definitely lucky to have a guy like that. We will hear from him later on the show. Back to you guys.
All right, Josiah Monroe committed to play college ball at UTSA this week, celebrating with a good game. I don't know that he needed to make a commitment to celebrate with a good game because the kid's pretty darn good. All right, so Elgin remains winless. Bastrop keeps its title hopes alive, as Leslie said. We'll talk more about that district coming up a little later in the show.
That's right, but first we get you to some of our other Thursday night action, including at Nelson Field. Lanier celebrating late homecoming against Crockett. These teams tied at 2-2. They're battling for 4th place in the district, which is the final playoff spot. Joseph Basemore there slicing through the defense for the touchdown. Extra points no good. Crockett is down by 1. After another Cougars score, it's 13-7. Kalen Britton's pass picked Vicente Cantu. And look at this, Cantu not done there. Showing off his moves, weaving through the crowd. We give him 50 yards. We give him a pick 6. And we've got Crockett up 43-10 in the 4th quarter.
Let us head over to the Texas School for the Deaf. Rangers hosting Giddings State School. They are the Indians. Defense is going to come up big early on for the Rangers. It's the first possession of the game. Mickey Signs intercepts the Giddings State quarterback. Ricky, he actually took that all the way back for a touchdown. Would have been about 98 yards.
Yeah, you cheated him.
Block in the back.
Oh, no.
Block in the back. No good. But they would cash in on the turnover. Dalton Etke deep to Akeem Gidry, 73 yards, makes it 7-0. Texas School for the Deaf a nice win in this one, 34-16 final score.
All right, we promised more earlier on the topsy-turvy world of District 16 4A, and now we deliver.
We always deliver.
Well, that's like we like to do here. The battle for the top spot is intriguing, and so is the battle for the final playoff spot. The Hendrickson Hawks, they want to stake their claim to it, but it's not going to be easy. Mike caught up with Hawks head coach Chip Killian in our coaches chat.
Inside the Hendrickson High School weight room here, this is where it all goes down. This is where Chip Killian's guys get swole. And are they swole?
A few of them are, yes, sir.
Some of them are, right.
Some of them are, yes, sir.
You know, this could have been a bad week to talk to you. You had Brian Rudder last week. It's a game you had to win, but you did get the win. Talk about that. Obviously, guys had their backs against the wall and came out and performed.
Yeah, we tried to approach it like our first playoff game because it was a, win or be done kind of situation. So that's the way the team attacked it, and that's the way they attacked the team last week.
You guys struggled early in the year. Do you feel like you're putting things together at the right time? And I know we're going to talk about this. You'll need some help to make the playoffs, but do you feel like at the right time things are coming together?
Well, we like to think so. We've had real roller coaster type environment. We gave some games away that we felt like we should have won, and we hope we've learned from those experiences and we can kind of get on a roll right here before the playoffs.
What you need to happen is you need Rudder to lose one of its last two, and you of course have to beat Manor coming up tomorrow. Talk about that game against Manor. Obviously, it's another one where you have to have the win, but what do you see when you look at that game?
Well, they're they're one of the most athletic teams that we face, and so that's the first thing that we've looked at is how are we going to defend all that athleticism. They're extremely fast team, so how are we going to attack them with our offense to kind of combat that speed?
Okay, and then lastly, what do you think your team's learned throughout the year, maybe that they're applying now? You talked about it being a roller coaster year. Sometimes teams can go south. Sometimes teams can bring them together. It's obviously kept your guys together in some way. What have they learned from that you hope they use now late in the year?
Well, probably the biggest thing they've learned, if they'll execute the plan and execute the schemes, that we're going to be fine. If they'll take care of the ball, no turnovers, cut down on the explosive plays on defense, then we're going to win the majority of our games. We would have won a lot of those games that we lost.
Okay, no turnovers is definitely a good thing. So he's hoping for no turnovers. Coming up tomorrow against Manor, we'll have highlights of that one plus many more on Gridiron Glory.
Yeah, Mike, you're everywhere. Hendrickson here.
I have like a teleporter.
Yeah, magic.
Get places quickly.
Magic. All right, well, we spent a lot of time talking about District 16 4A. You know the situation there well now. We're going to walk you through our other districts, 4 playoff spots up for grabs in each district.
Get your pens and your papers out. Let's try and walk you through this. Important to note, these are district records we're showing you, not overall records. Here's 15-5A, pretty clear cut. Unless Aikens and Del Valle get something going, Austin High is likely your 4th playoff team.
All right, let's go now to 16-5A. This is going to get a little interesting. Top 3 teams are already in. They've all clinched spots, but then it gets tight. Georgetown plays at McNeil this week. Round Rock plays Pflugerville. Those 3 teams all alive for that 4th and final spot. Obviously a must-win for Round Rock and Pflugerville.
How about 25-4A, the game of the year coming up? Lake Travis, Cedar Park. They play next week. Vista Ridge holding strong on that 3rd spot there. Marble Falls has to play LT this week. That could be trouble for them. Dripping Springs faces Cedar Park. They really need to pull the upset there to stay alive.
All right, now finally, 26-4A, the fun one at the top. 3 teams alive for the district title and likely to finish in a 3-way tie because they've all already played one another. So that leaves one spot up for grabs. It's Crockett and Lanier, and we showed you that game earlier. Crockett winning big, so that would probably give Crockett the 4th and final playoff spot in that district. There you go. Got it all. Quiz later in the show.
Easy. Yeah, it's that easy.
Piece of cake. When we come back on the Gridiron Kickoff Show, Chip Brown is in with this week's Eye on the Future.
And we will preview our game of the week. Here's a hint. It's coming out of District 16-5A. We'll hear from both of them when we come back. Stay with us.